Bay Area baseball is alive and well. 2 games into the series, and it's obvious these games mean something more. Emotions are running high, and bragging rights are on the line. They might be neighbors, but they're not close, and they've got 4 more games to settle things. The Bay Bridge series continues next.
We've got a beautiful Sunday afternoon here at AT Park as these 2 teams will go at it for the final game of this 3-game series. A's Giants, welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, and it's powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, look, each team has won a game in this series. Both well-played games. You can see there's a bit of a rivalry involved. And this is a big game. So what are the Giants going to do? They're going to hand the ball to a rook.
Well, why wouldn't you? Andy Suarez has been unbelievable. He's pitched like a veteran. His last 6 outings, he's allowed his opponents 2 runs or less. 4 of those, 1 run or less. So what is there left to do for Andy Suarez? Well, how about take down an ace, and he'll have that opportunity today when he takes on the left-hander for the A's, Sean Manaea. Oh, and by the way, the last 12 series in this ballpark, Giants are 10-0-2. So that streak is on the line.
On the line. Might as well have a lot of things on the line. 4 days off starting tomorrow. When we come back, we will have the lineups and the very first pitch of this game, and we'll do that right after this.
Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Jack in the Box. Try the $5.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box. And by California's Great America. It's amazing at California's Great America. With roller coasters and water slides, all for one price.
Sunday, day baseball, A's Giants. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Hey, get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 66 degrees here at the yard. You see the winds and the humidity, and it's going to be a nice day. First pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's a called strike. So we get started right on time. As Simeon takes a pitch in tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Simeon hitting at .255, 7 home runs, 33 driven in. With Pinder and then Lowry. And a line drive foul. It's 1-2. The lineup for the A's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Pinder second, then Lowry, followed by Canna, the cleanup hitter. Piscotty fifth, Olsen in the 6th slot, and then it's Chapman, Lucroy, and Minaya. 2 balls, 2 strikes. None of these A's hitters have ever faced Suarez in a major league game. They may have seen him a couple of times in spring training. Foul back. It remains at 2-2. Giants won on Friday 7-1. A's came back yesterday and they won by a final of 4-3. Quick turnaround for this day baseball, and a foul back again. And even though it's not exactly the end of the first half, that's what we're saying. Today's the end of the first half. Roll to Darno, and that's how this game gets started.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Andy Suarez, who's on the hill today. Suarez, 6 feet tall, 190 pounder. He's 25 years of age in his rookie campaign, and in 15 starts he's 3-5 with a 3.75 ERA. But that doesn't tell you the whole story. The last 6 starts he's allowed 2 runs or less in all of those starts, 4 of which were 1 run or less. And this is how he does it, with a fastball that goes 90-94ish with 2 types of movement. He'll cut the ball, sink the ball, change up, and a curveball.
Pinder hitting .262. He's got 10 home runs. He's got 22 runs batted in. And one thing, we like a lot of things about Andy Suarez. One thing is he likes to work fast. Lowry on deck. Outfield straight away. And it's 1-2.
Good hard slider. That's more of a cutter at 90 miles per hour. Good strike zone today. Ben May, the plate umpire, I mean, he's a low ball guy, and at times his corners can be tight, but I do think he looks for strikes, and he loves ringing guys up.
And that is a fastball on the inside corner, 2 down.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Giants today behind Suarez, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Hernandez, Duggar, McCutchen, good arms across the board. Crawford and Darno on the left side of the infield. Tomlinson and Belt, they're on the right side as we welcome Tomlinson back. And Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Here's Lowry. Lowry played on Friday, got hurt, got into the game as a pinch hitter yesterday, and now back in the starting lineup today. 1 ball and no strikes. He's an all-star, and he rolls this one foul.
Good changeup. Take a look at the easy motion. He has a rock back with that back shoulder will drop down. And then he comes right back over the top, the 3/4 slot. Very classic delivery. Gets out consistently over his front foot.
1-2. And it looks like he ends up in a good spot to field his position.
He's got good balance all the way through his delivery, which explains why he has the command that he has.
Two and 2. Did that say 94?
Well, we've seen him go 94, 95, and most of his high velocities come at 2 strike counts, so he will reach back on you.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Lowry just got a piece, so we'll do it again.
thing that we've been impressed with Suarez and watching him develop is how he'll establish his pitches early in the game. I mean, he has not once come out where he has struggled with showing his opponent that he'll have that pitch that day.
Three and two.
And he will throw anything anytime.
Foul back. Went right at him.
So we got a battle here. Jed Lowry putting up a pretty good fight here with Suarez. Next pitch will be number 8 in this at bat.
On the ground to Crawford on the backhand. And that'll end the inning. Nice inning for Suarez. Giants are coming up. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Darno, Belt, and McCutcheon. Buster Posey will be in the cleanup spot. Then it's Crawford, Hernandez, Duggar. Check out, as Mike calls him, the doubles machine. And then Tomlinson 8th, and Suarez will hit in the 9th spot.
On the hill today for the Oakland Athletics will be their ace, Sean Manaea. And take a look at what he has done in 19 starts. He's 8-6 with a 3.44 ERA. You're going to see a lot of fastball changeup combination. The fastball will be right around 90. He can reach back and top out around 93, but his changeup is money. He'll throw it both sides of the plate. And he also has got a little slider with that low three-quarter delivery. Has never pitched to the Giants. It's not true. He's 1-1 with a 2.08 ERA. I beg your pardon.
I think it was last year he got torched, but the start before that in 2016 he really pitched well.
I was looking at the stats for Andy Suarez, who has never pitched against the A's.
Well, you'd be right about that.
Well, there you go. 1 for 2.
1 and 2. Darno hitting .294. 2 for 5 in the game last night with a couple of strikeouts.
Manaea is a big guy, 6'5", 230 pounds.
Out of play.
A's got Manaea from Kansas City, and that was in the Ben Zobrist deal back in 2015.
Two and 2 on the pitch down low.
Manaea, a former first-round pick by the Royals out of Indiana State.
On the ground to third. That's a foul ball. So we'll act like that didn't happen. Although Chapman, he had to work hard to get it and get a throw off, and Darno had to work hard to get down the line.
Well, I mean, you have to go through the play. I mean, you don't know how it's going to be ruled. Plus, I think it's kind of a fun play to make. Interesting to see if they'd have ruled him safe or out. Jordan Baker, the first base umpire today.
I mean, the tallest umpire?
6'7" or 6'8". I mean, he's a big fella.
Two pitch is fouled out of play.
I think most umpires are around 5'9".
Yeah, they're all the Eddie Montague size, about 5'3".
Because he never had to squat; he just stand up.
Yeah, that big old puffy airbag chest protector was bigger than Eddie. Two pitch, and a base hit to right field. Nice little serve job.
Let's take a look at the A's defense playing behind Manaea today. Starting in the A's outfield from left to right, it'll be Pinder, Canna, and Piscotty, best arm in right field. Simeon and Chapman on the left side, Lowry and Olsen on the right side. Jonathan Lucroy, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Belt. Belt at 291, 13 home runs, 42 runs batted in. And he takes a strike. Chapman is the lone defender. He was in. Now he's moved back, and we've seen Belt try to bunt before. And he pops it up. So that didn't work.
Well, it was a good thought. But I'm sure he's not happy about it. Head back to the Giants dugout.
Here's McCutchen. McCutchen hitting .263. He's never had an at bat against Sean Manaea.
He's got sneaky arm action. He's a slinger. Low three-quarter release, kind of like Tony Watson. Ball can jump at you.
Blocked by Lucroy. 1 ball and 1 strike. Buster Posey to follow. Swing and a miss. 1-2. McCutchen taking a look at Ron Wotus. Giants are 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're 5-4 on this homestand. And McCutchen stays alive. I don't know what me or you or Giants fans before this homestand started what we'd be happy with, but 6-4 sounds pretty good. And you'd have to win today to make it a 6-4 homestand.
6-4 sounds really good.
McCutchen on the ground. That's 1 and 2, and that'll end the inning. Second inning coming up. It'll be Mark Canha to lead things off.
At Giants of Land and Sea, a new exhibit at the California Academy of Sciences.
No score as we head to the top of the second inning.
And here's Mark Canha.
There's the Merlot Commodore easing into the cove.
Canha takes down low, hitting .259. His 12th home run last night was a game winner. He's got 38 runs batted in. Outfield straight away. Two and 0. On deck is Piscotty, and then Matt Olson. A's have done a good job in interleague this year. They're 8-3. 3-0. The Giants in interleague are 4-5. So Suarez has got to find the strike zone. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And he pours it in at the knees.
It's a quality 3-0 pitch. And Buster Posey's thinking, throw that one again, and again, and again.
And the walk.
Well, just a reminder that today is the final day to support the Junior Giant Stretch Drive presented by PG&E, and you can help the fund continue to provide a free baseball program for over 24,000 boys and girls. And we're grateful for your support at any level, but if you give at $500, you'll receive a baseball autograph by both Willie McCovey and Andrew McCutcheon. If you give $1,500, you'll receive an Andrew McCutcheon autograph bat and ball. And if you donate $2,200, you'll receive an Andrew McCutcheon autographed jersey. So make a donation online at jrgiants.org. And it is the bat that he actually uses that you get autographed if you give a $1,500 donation.
It's a beautiful bat, and it is hard as a rock.
It's hard.
I can see how these exit velocities are off the charts. It's a nice bat.
It is Marucci style bat that players talk highly of.
I like
a good piece of wood.
I like the colors too.
Well, every hitter gets to pick their own color.
0-2 to Piscotty after the walk to Canha. Foul back.
I mean, there's Walker stains and Hornsby stains and flame-tempered, and then there's no stain at all, completely bare. Every guy's got their preference. Andrew McCutcheon, he likes a hickory handle with a gray barrel. And he likes a maple wood. Picking that bat up, it feels like it's a 34.5, 31.5.
And Piscotti goes around. Let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, gentlemen. Dwayne, the other day you said Marcus Semien, Brandon Crawford, the shortstops for each team, went to Bay Area high schools. Turns out Bay Area high schools well represented between these two teams. Our own Mike Rosenthal in the production truck digging up this info for folks. Check it out. Foothill, Heritage, Bellarmine, Amador Valley, St. Mary's, Skyline, Menlo, Lincoln, Del Campo, and Lowell. All those high schools are out there on the field today. Fun fact, Brandon Crawford still holds the single season stolen base record at Foothill with 22. He did it in 2005.
And
right?
Quarterback records and interceptions and I don't know. He knows.
Oh, he knows. He'll tell you all his football stats. He won't remember all his baseball stats.
Hit on the ground to Belt. Belt, little juggle to Crawford. Crawford back to Belt, not in time. Belt will be unhappy because he's so fond of that 3-6-3 double play.
Well, it's rare to see him box and exchange. He is so sure-handed. I mean, that really is a common thing to see on occasion with any first baseman because of the size of the glove. One hopper, he's got plenty of time and just can't find a handle on it. Regrips, winds up throwing high. And Crawford just making a flat foot throw back to first base, which just allowed Olson too much time to get there. So that's one that's going to haunt Brandon Belt.
Here's Chapman. Chapman takes a strike. Well, just a couple of days ago, the Giants were leading the National League in turning double plays. Hit hard, but foul. And it's 0-2. So Chapman back in the box. One and two. Jonathan Lucroy on deck. Just inside, it's 2-2.
I like the thought, though. I mean, one thing about Andy Suarez, I mean, he could get that inside pitch. I mean, he'll plant that thing on an inside corner to or on the hands to a right-handed hitter with consistency.
This is lined at Duggar, and that'll end the inning. For the Giants, it'll be Posey, Crawford, and Hernandez coming up.
Redwood Credit Union. Redwood Credit Union offers full-service banking for all that you love. Federally insured by NCUA.
0-0 as Buster Posey stands in. Buster's got a little ownage on Minaya. He's 4 for 5 with 2 doubles. Here he takes a strike.
Well, that tells you he sees them well.
Shoots one to right, but Piscotti has got a jump on it, and he puts it away. Stream the Giants on the go. This season, once again, you can stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. Giants game streamed on the go on the NBC Sports app. Here's Crawford hitting .289 with 10 home runs and 39 runs batted in. Swinging a foul. Crawford 1 for 4 lifetime against Minaya. Gorkis Hernandez to follow. Crawford shoots it to left, and that's a fair ball. And he is on the move. And that's a double. Second hit in the game for the Giants, and here's Gorkis Hernandez.
Take a look at where the pitch was. 90-mile-an-hour fastball inside. That's our pitch cast, brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
When he went on that tear, what was it, in May? That's the types of swings that he had. He went to the opposite field almost every at bat. Here's Gorkis.
Big part of his game, being able to go to that side. That's when he really learned to hit lefties at this level.
Gorkis tries to bunt, and he bunts it foul. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I think what Gorkis Hernandez was thinking was, Matt Chapman, the third baseman for the A's, he's playing back. But I think this is a situation where he needs to try and knock that run in instead of bunt.
Well, if I'm Gorkis Hernandez, and as much as I like Steven Duggar as a player, I don't want to leave it up to the rook.
No.
I'm going to do it.
And I think that's the same mentality that Bruce Bochy and Alonzo Powell, Rick Shue, I think they'd all agree with you.
1-2.
The exception to the rule is if you're not seeing the guy.
Right.
But I mean, you're talking, this is his first at bat, and he's only 1 pitch into the game, so.
Yeah, he's 2 for 3 lifetime with a double.
So you know he sees him pretty well. Just based on his history.
Little flare to right, and this is going to fall, and the Giants are going to take the lead.
And that's why you want to see him swing the bat.
Yep.
And I think he's had the idea going the opposite way. I mean, that ball's working back into him. It's got poor location. Minaya leaving that one up, and Gorkis Hernandez making him pay.
So here's Duggar. Duggar yesterday went 2 for 4. He had a couple of doubles. And he takes a strike at the knees. Overall, Duggar is 8 for 25.
He's
Hit 5 doubles already.
Doubles machine.
Runner goes. And the throw. Got him. Simeon picked it. Hernandez is thrown out.
Yeah, that's outstanding play from Simeon, the shortstop. Goes back, digs out the one hop, and drops a shoulder tag on Hernandez. Jonathan Lucroy is pretty quick out of the squat.
Yeah, hey, look, get it there. Get rid of it and get it there. Man. Maybe that middle infielder will make a play, and Simeon did. Hit to left. It's Pinder, and Pinder at the last second reaches up, and he makes the catch. Giants on the board. It's 1-0.
Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, take off for the Giants on the 4th annual Vacation in Paradise presented by Alaskan Airlines. You can join Dave Fleming, Dwayne Kuiper, John Miller, and myself from November 27th to December 2nd to join an unforgettable vacation. We can guarantee it. Luxurious 4 seasons resort in Oahu. Go to sfgiants.com/vacations and check it out. We will see you in Hawaii.
So it's like the rap vacation.
We will be rapping, serious rapping, vacation raps.
1 ball and 1 strike to Lucroy. Lucroy hitting at .240. A home run, 25 runs batted in. A little pop-up out of play, 2-2.
Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote. Get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
Got him.
Fastball right through him at 93. 3rd strikeout for Andy Suarez.
Here's Minaya.
He's got the trot down.
The Giants have played the A's a number of times, including in spring training, where the A's asked their pitchers not to swing. And this may be one of those. And it's working.
And I think you're right. That last pitch from Andy Suarez was kind of an aim. Don't want to aim the ball. Pick your target up, keep your eyes on it. Throw through your target. You know, it just sounds ridiculous when you say that a big league hitter is going to go up there and not swing, but it happens all the time.
Do you have to have a bat in your hand when you go up to hit?
Well, right now he's a pair of shoes up there. You know, you don't need anything. There's a swing. I mean, that's the fun of baseball, is being able to swing the bat. But the fear that American League managers have is that you can hurt yourself.
We watched Cueto the other day. Tomlinson says they're going to have to make kind of a decent play, and he does. 2 outs. Johnny Cueto hit one off the end of the bat the other day, and he said he felt it in his fingers for 3 innings.
Yeah, it's bad when you get a stinger on their fingertips, whether you get jammed or hit one off the end of the bat. And it affected him. It got him out of the game.
It did. He's doing fine.
Although you say, how long does it stay with you when you get jammed, you get a stone bruise, or you get a finger pinch? I can still feel the stone bruise,
of course,
that Dickie Knowles gave me.
Oh, 1 to Simeon. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pinder to follow. One and 2. Got him, and that'll end the inning. 4 strikeouts for Suarez. It'll be Tomlinson to lead things off.
Brewing Company. Enjoy a Big Wave Golden Ale or Longboard Lager today.
1-0 Giants. Here's Kelby Tomlinson as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Tomlinson activated today. Jeff Samardzija on the disabled list, and a swing and a miss. Tomlinson hitting .221. He tries to bunt. Dan's got the pop-up blues with bunting. 1 out.
Another Giants transactions. You mentioned Kelby Tomlinson activated today. Jeff Samardzija put on the DL for the 3rd time this year. Try and calm that shoulder down again. So he didn't feel right last night. He could feel it after the 4th pitch of the game.
Suarez is 1 for 28. And he takes a strike.
So frustrating for Samardzija because the outing before, I mean, he had good velocity. The ball was coming out of his hand well. He was throwing easy, no pain. So it's back to the drawing board, try and calm that thing down. It's been a very, very difficult year for him, having been put on the disabled list 3rd time now. And prior to that, he'd never been on the DL.
Suarez rolls this one. And it's a fair ball, and he's out, 2 down. Here's our BioFreeze moment, powered by BioFreeze. Cool the pain. Last night, Ray Black struck out Davis and Chapman, both swinging strikeouts with an 87-mile-per-hour sliders.
Oh, he was absolutely filthy dirty last night. Those are those breaking balls. 87 miles an hour. He just tell you what the quality of the pitch was. But if you were to give it a grade, you'd say A+.
Here's d'Arnaud with 2 outs. And d'Arnaud takes a strike. He lined a single into right field in the 1st inning. Low. Good news in Atlanta. The Braves finally beat the D-backs.
That is good news.
Final score 5-1 as Corbin beat Tehran. 2 balls and a strike. Make that the other way around. Tehran beat Corbin. We'll say that that's a couple of aces, right?
Yeah.
Very high to left. Pinder is going to have to battle the elements, and he makes the catch. 4th inning coming up. It'll be Pinder to lead things off.
Is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Here it's 1-0 Giants as Suarez now gets to face the beef. And the first pitch to Pinder is high. Pinder struck out looking in the first. Suarez has got 4 strikeouts. And he's walked 1. He walked Kenneth to lead off the second. On the ground, foul. Have an error?
E10.
What is that?
That's 0 for ball dude.
Is that Mike Pope?
It's Mike Pope at third base today, and that's Zach Elliott over at first.
There's a pop-up. It's either going to be Tomlinson. Let's check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, I have a friend of yours, Brett Butler, and beloved by the Giants fan base. Of course, a member of the 1989 team. Several members are here as the Giants continue to celebrate 60 years of Giants baseball in San Francisco. And Brett, you weren't with the Giants very long, but you had such a big impact, a premier leadoff hitter. What does that season mean to you in your career?
Well, I know we went to the World Series that year, but it was the guys I played with. You know, we had 25 guys that worked together. We had a role. We had an understanding of what we had to get done. And Roger at the very beginning says, you know what, this team can win. All we have to do is go out there and do our individual job and then collectively get it done. We were able to do it, and that's what made it so special.
So, guys, Brett did a phenomenal Matt Williams impersonation. We were on a panel earlier together. And next year marks 30 years, which seems unbelievable. But as you mentioned, it was the group of guys. How much fun is it to get a chance to come back and revisit and rehash those years?
Oh, it's special. I mean, we've sat around all day and just talked about, remember this and remember when that happened, and it's just, you know, the reminiscing is what makes it so special. And to be able to see these guys after so many years being gone, like I said, that's what makes it so nice.
All right, and Mike Keith's totally on to me. He knew that you were my source for those good stories.
Exactly right. I understand that it was you that told them about Bugsy, but you know what? I give you all the credit, man. To this day, even my grandkids call me Bugsy. So,
Dwayne and Mike, let's get it back to you.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's a Bugsy, for crying out loud.
He was our player rep. We were in Chicago, and it was about 95 degrees, and he gets on the team bus and come to the ballpark, and he's got on a 3-piece suit with a fedora, and that did it. Chicago, 3-piece suit, fedora, and he was Bugsy, and it never left him. But he was so instrumental in getting us to the playoffs. I mean, he was the missing link at the top of the lineup, and he was a small player in stature, but he was big in heart and big in ability.
He was Bugsy.
He was Bugsy.
Drawing the walk is Lowry, so here's Canna. Canna drew a walk in the second. On the ground towards the hole and a base hit. So here's Piscotty. Piscotty struck out in the second. With Olsen to follow. Giants are leading 1-0. By the way, the hit by Canna is the first hit off of Suarez. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Suarez looking for a double play right here. Piscotty has hit into 12 of them. That's the most on this A's club.
Out of play, 0-2. E40.
E40's here. Styling, as he always does. He brings a lot of energy, and he will light up a room.
Outside, 1-2.
He's got the best seats in the house.
Yes, he does. Little flare to right. This is going to tie the game. Canna, for whatever reason, stopped at second, and it's 1-1. So a walk and 2 singles. And here's Olson.
Highest percentage of batting walks that scored this season. Well, and the A's are leading the league. Leading both leagues, as a matter of fact. And they will make you pay. They say walks haunt. Well, the A's will make those walks haunt. Rockies, White Sox, Astros, Reds. So Buster Posey have to try and calm his rookie left-hander down, get him focused.
Olson hit a sharp ground ball to Belt and reached on a fielder's choice. Taps it foul. It's no balls and 1 strike. Chapman on deck. It's 1-1. And a base hit. Coming in to score is Canna. Piscotty will go to third. So the A's take the lead. A walk and 3 straight singles, and that'll bring up Chapman.
So Kurt Young going to call timeout and come out, talk it over with Andy Suarez. This is the last game of the half, and because of that, you have 4 days rest before you tee it up again next Friday. And then what that does, it allows a manager and a pitching coach to manage this ball game a little bit differently with your pitchers. You can get in the bullpen a little bit earlier. You can extend guys in the bullpen a little more. But you've got 4 days of rest that follows the conclusion of today. And that may have been the message from Kurt Young to Andy Suarez. Just go out there and go as hard as you can, as long as you can. Dig deep, young man. Dig deep.
Chapman lined out to Gorkis Hernandez. He's 0 for 1. And he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's a call strike. Limit the damage.
Right, pitch for the ground ball early. If you get to a 2-strike count, then you can pitch for the strikeout. But right now, if you miss, you want to be below the strike zone. You don't want to be up. This is a fly ball situation. That's what Chapman's looking for. Something up.
1 and 2.
Good pitch. You want swings and misses, and you want ground balls, and you get those down to the knees and lower. Andy Suarez has a high ground ball rate. The only one higher than him is Marcus Stroman of the Blue Jays.
Tap foul again. It remains 1 and 2.
I mean, this is the time, if you're going to elevate, you do it here, but you throw it across the letter tops where you're hoping for a swing and miss. You just don't want to miss in the around between the area between the belt and the letters.
On the ground and a base hit. And it'll be 1st and 3rd again.
So frustrating for Suarez. You get that ground ball and it finds a hole. You don't see 4 hits in a row very often. You just don't. Usually
ball find the glove?
Well, the last 3 have gone to right field. And here's Jonathan Lucroy.
And I think that's something that the A's have adjusted as they've come up to face Suarez his second time through. And very quickly, Reyes Maranta heading down to the pin.
One ball and no strikes. Two and 0.
Those are little signs that pitching coaches and managers do not miss when you see a guy throw a breaking ball and he misses up, because that is a sign of a little bit of a fatigue.
Now this will be pitch number 75, and it's hit out to left, which Gorkis Hernandez is going to catch. Here's his throw home, and it's cut off, or tried to cut it off. Coming in to score is Olsen. So a nice at bat for Lucroy. And here's Manaya. And a strike, and it's 0-1. A walk, and then 4 straight singles. Oh, and 2.
That's an American League pitcher swing. What causes that? Well, inactivity. You don't take batting practice, you don't swing. You kind of feel like you're hitting on roller skates.
Foul.
The fact that Manaya's getting pitches out of him makes it a good at bat. Whether he gets a hit at all is really, I don't think it would be gravy in the eyes of the A's.
Going to take another play by Tomlinson, and because Manaya wasn't running, that's going to finally end the inning. The A's put 4 on the board. Belt's going to lead things off. Four dealers. The 1989 NLCS Game 5, Giants clinched the pennant. With runners on first and second, top of the ninth, Steve Bedrosian.
Bedrosian throws to Sandberg, and the pitch is grounded to second base. Thompson has it, throws to first. It's over. 27 years of waiting have come to an end. The Giants have won the pennant.
The attendance that day at Candlestick, 62,084. They clinched the pennant for the first time since 1962. How about that?
That was fun. Just 6.2 miles away at the Stick. Some say the best part about that ballpark was the name, but we beg to differ.
So here's Belt to lead things off. It'll be Belt, McCutchen, and Buster Posey. Manaya and the A's now with a 3-run lead. The overshift is on for Belt, and it's high. A high strike. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, those high strikes are a little deceptive.
Belt rolls it foul.
And when you have an inning go against you like Giants had in the top of the 4th, you'd like to answer, even if it's just 1. It's an answer. Manaya's goal here, shutdown inning. And if you could just scratch out a 1, it definitely brings momentum to a degree back to your dugout.
Breaks his bat, and it'll be Chapman who makes the play. And that'll bring up McCutchen. McCutchen rolled into a 5-4-3 double play in the first inning. Buster Posey to follow. And he takes the pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Manaya with 40 pitches. Two and 0. And a strike as Manaya comes right in on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Outside corner, 2-2. McCutchen trying to get on base for Buster Posey here in the 4th. And a full count.
Outside, inside, outside, inside. Rock them back and forth. Put a little on, take a little off.
And the walk.
Well, it's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. It delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. Go to RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Buster hit a fly ball to right, fairly deep in the second. That was caught. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Two for 4 yesterday for Buster Posey. The average above 290. He also had 2 hits on Friday night. So 4 hits in the series, and now the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing, gonna miss. 1 and 2.
Comes back again with back foot breaking ball. Identify and adjust. Everything you see sets up the next pitch, sets up the next approach if you're a hitter.
Foul back. You got a fastball. I agree with you. That's a loose on fastball that the radar gun says 90, but it really almost looks like 96.
You know, it's hard to explain a ball that jumps at you, but lazy arm guys, I mean, I think they're the #1 type of release that has that little finish that just explodes at you. It just seems so much faster than what the radar gun will tell you it is.
And they're going to say Buster went around. First strikeout. And that'll bring up Crawford. Crawford doubled in the second. And a line drive down the left field line. Two balls, no strikes. Gorkis Hernandez waiting patiently in the on deck circle.
Well, Giants have 3 hits. 2 of those hits have come from Crawford and Gorkis Hernandez. So you know they're feeling pretty confident in their at bats against Mania. Right now, Crawford in the driver's seat. Last 2 pitches close, and Mania wanted both of them. Bob Melvin giving signs.
And a strike.
And what signs he gives, I mean, he could have signs anything from throw over, pitch out, step off.
Three and 1. Out of play, 3 and 2. Crawford got a fastball.
Well, Mania's got a 3-run lead, and you're going to already walk the guy. Now you get down to count 3-1. I mean, you got a challenge. You got to make Crawford swing the bat. You don't want to walk Crawford to set up the tie and run because of a couple base on balls.
Crawford lines it into right field, a base hit. So McCutcheon to third.
Big lazy, get it in, slurpy breaking ball, and Crawford, who's seeing the ball well today, waits for it. And I had to come into him. He couldn't walk. You make him swing the bat. And Crawford sets it up now for Gorkis Hernandez.
Gorkis picked up an RBI single in the second inning with a line drive into right field. Into center field. It'll be Canna. Side retired. So Hernandez sees one pitch. He flies out to center field. We will head to the fifth. It's 4-1 A's. On behalf of the Giants Community Fund and Willie McCovey, we would like to thank everyone for their tremendous support of the Junior Giants Stretch Drive, which was presented by PG&E. We're very pleased to report that our fans have donated $280,000 over the past 3 games. And with the matching gift of $100,000 from our sponsor PG&E, just add 100 grand to that 280 and you got that number. And you can still show your support online. Just visit jrgiants.org. The kids in our Junior Giants program, and we all thank you. High and deep to left. At the wall, Hernandez. 1 out. Let's check in with Amy G.
All right, well, it's kind of a dream come true because I get to interview Kevin Mitchell, one of my favorite players of all time, with the barehanded catch. 1989 team is here revisiting with each other, and you were the NL MVP. And your teammate, Will Clark, came second in voting. How much did you guys feed off of each other, and did you really have bragging rights over Will?
You know what? I really think I did. Because I tell you what, I fed off him so much because I told myself in my head, if he hit a single, you hit a double. So I tried not to let Will beat me at nothing, you know what I'm saying? But he can beat me with his mouth.
No doubt, no doubt. How much fun is it for you to get time with these teammates? Every guy you're looking at, you tell me that they're your heart, that you love them.
I do. I really miss these guys, you know, and I keep in touch with Dave Dravecki a lot. You know, we check on each other. Even when I was hurting down, he would call me and check on me, you know, so that's a blessing. He is a heart to me, you know, because we got traded over here together from San Diego, and he was the main guy that kept me in the game because I was ready to take a plane to go home. He talked me out of it. So I got to love him for that and love him for all the things he just said. Everything's coming out of his mouth is positive. You know, like I tell you, put yourself around positive people, positive things going to happen.
Yeah. Ooh, I love it. Life lessons with Kevin Mitchell. Last question for you. I asked you before we went on if you pay attention to the Giants, if you watch, and you said you watch every game. What do you think about this 2018 team?
I think things are going to get better. See, the old saying, it get greater later. You know what I'm saying? So I think they got a good chemistry here, a good team here, and I love every player, all the players on the team. The main player that I like is that boy Crawford, because he got so much swagger. You know, he's Hollywood out there. You know he's on the spotlight, and he looks good.
Yeah, we all like that boy Crawford, and we love Kevin Mitchell. Gentlemen, let's get it back to you.
All right.
One of the more unique players that I ever played with or against. I mean, he was so much fun to be a teammate of, and just a heart of gold, absolute heart of gold.
Here's Lowry, who takes high. Lowry started things off in the 4th with a walk, and then after that, 4 straight singles.
And if there ever was a melee on the middle of the field, I mean, he was always in the middle of it.
Center field.
Glad he was on my side.
And that'll end the inning. This is when Kevin Mitchell came out. He's still got some swagger.
For all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
A's with a 4-1 lead as Duggar, Tomlinson, and Suarez. Probably Suarez will not hit. Duggar shows bunt and he takes a strike. Duggar hit a ball well to left field that was caught by Pinder. Here he takes low. This will be pitch number 60 for Sean Manaea. Swing and a miss. 1-2. In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Giants have had a couple of base runners in the 2nd. They couldn't come up with a 2-out hit in the 4th. So they need to Get some people on base. On the ground to second. One out. Here's Tomlinson. Hunter Pence coming out of the dugout.
Yeah, the whole family's here. Trying to be patient. Waiting for that Giant offense to get going.
Tomlinson tried to bunt and he popped it up. Here he rolls this one up the middle. Simeon's got it and he throws him out. And here's Pence.
Giants have been playing with 4 extra guys for a while, but with the transaction today to put Jeff Samardzija on the disabled list, it allowed the Giants to bring up Kelby Tomlinson and put them 5 regular players on the bench. So Pinch, the first of those 5 to be used.
And the 0-1 pitch to Hunter Pence. They're going to pop up out of play. Nothing in 2.
Change up, such a good pitch for Manaea to right-handers. He lays it on that outside corner at the knees and he just takes the legs out of most right-hander swings on it. He gets them reaching, and that's what you want to do. You're Manaea, you want him to put the ball in play while they're reaching. Because when you're reaching, you're not driving the ball, you're slapping it.
And this little jam shot to Lowry is going to end the inning. After 5, it's 4-1 A's.
Top of the second. Duggar covered 92 feet to make the catch. It was a big play, and that was our Togo's pretzel runner.
Here's Reyes Maranta as he throws to Canna, and it's inside for a ball. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
The numbers for Maranta, very solid, very strong first half. Just 19 hits allowed in 41 innings. See how they play Mark Canna, StatCast powered by AWS. Pretty straight away. Bell off the line is the only real dramatic set.
One and two. Got him.
Now let's take a look at a power fastball. And Canna grab some pine meat.
Here's Piscotti. Piscotti gets a fastball and pops it out of play. Piscotti with a RBI single in the fourth inning. Such an odd line for Andy Suarez. He allows 4 hits. Oh, and 2. Outside 1 and 2. He allows 4 hits, and all 4 of his hits came in a row. One ball and 2 strikes. No swing. 2 and 2. On deck is Olson. Hit very high and very well to left, and gone. Piscotti with his 12th of the year, and it's 5-1.
Got a breaking ball. Take a look at the location, just a hanger, middle in. And Piscotti unloads on the mistake. Backspinned it right out of here.
Here's Olson. Olson takes a strike. Olson had one of those 4 singles in the 4th inning. And he takes outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Just a little bit.
Way outside. 3-1.
A bit of an overthrow there from Maranta on that 2-1 fastball. Fly that front shoulder, drag the arm.
And the walk.
And that was one that Moronto wanted. One thing you hate to do when you give up a home run is walk the next guy. It just, I mean, even if it's not true, it says that you're all of a sudden timid to the strike zone. Hard to believe when you're watching Moronto all year long that he would ever be timid to the strike zone, but I mean, that's just the appearance it gives.
Chapman takes a strike. Cued to Tomlinson, who'll shovel it to Crawford to Belt, and that's a double play. (5-1) A's. Luigi Rodriguez was named the Eastern League All-Star MVP as he hit a go-ahead home run to give the West All-Stars a 4-3 lead. Game, however, ended up in a 4-4 tie. The West was declared a winner after a post-game hitting competition. This season for Luigi, 70 games, he's hitting .305. He's got 10 home runs and 35 runs batted in. He also can run a little bit. He's got 13 stolen bases.
10 home runs for a guy 5'11", 160. That's good.
He must be swinging for it.
That means that he's going to get a little bit bigger and he's going to get a little bit stronger and he'll hit a few more home runs. That's how scouts think.
Darno bluffing a bunt, taking a pitch. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Darno drives one to center field. On the move is Canna. Still on the move. It is out of here. And the Giants get that run back.
That's an important swing of the bat because it gets the fans in the game. They've been sitting quiet since the 2nd inning. And maybe it'll light an alarm clock in that Giant dugout. Down and in. ball, you know, you watch him swing and where the ball hit the bat. You hate to say a guy never got all of it when he hits one out to center field, but I think there was more. Second home run.
Belt on the ground to second, where Lowry's going to charge and throw him out. Actually, that's Simeon. I beg your pardon.
Close to can it come? Pretty close.
So here's McCutcheon. McCutcheon is 0 for 1. He rolls this one slowly to third, and Chapman will throw him out. And that'll bring up Buster Posey.
Let's take a look at the StatCast numbers on the home run. 102 miles per hour at 410 feet. And it was just enough.
Buster's 0 for 2. And he takes a high strike. No balls and 1 strike. Up the middle. Lowry makes the play, side retired. So 3 ground balls after the home run by d'Arnaud. It's his second of the year. It goes to center field, and it's bye-bye baby. It's 5-2 A's. The dealer. Suarez and Maranta, or Sean Manaea, were your starters, and Manaea is still in the game. Suarez gave up 4 hits in this game, and they all came back to back to back to back. So A's with runners in scoring position are 3 for 4. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So Ray Black coming in. This will be his 4th appearance, as he continues to whittle down his ERA. At the end of his first outing, his ERA was 80-something. But it won't take him long to whittle that down with what we've seen from his stuff. His high 90s and occasionally a 3-digit fastball with a curveball and a slider that are wicked. And we look forward to seeing this guy throw every time he goes out there.
(2-0). Lucroy is 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice fly in the 4th. Foul back. Two and two. Got him. It's Chuck Yeager.
Well, he's got the right stuff. One of the greatest pilots in aviation history. Test pilot, brigadier general, a hero. We welcome General Yeager to the ballpark today, and we salute you, sir.
Here's Nick Martini. Martini hitting at 235. Got into the game on Friday as a pinch hitter and was 0 for 1. Did not make it yesterday.
Just an explosive 99. And you want to gain reputation fast in this league, bring a 99-mile-an-hour fastball with you when you come up to the big leagues with 2 good breaking balls. Your name will get pronounced correctly after a week or so. Not that Ray Black is that hard to pronounce, but it'll be remembered.
Yes, they will.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, no. This we need to keep this, sweetheart. Yeah, this we save.
2 and 2.
Dad's about ready to have a heart attack here. Yep, Dad. Your daughter's a live wire. Get used to it.
Oh, full count.
All right, one more look. Yay, Dad!
just doing. Here's an instant replay of how it happened. Got him.
I mean, that's a caveman fastball right there. You do not want Ray Black throwing rocks at you. Muscle up and just go country hard. And then you'll see guys cheat to stay up with 97, and they will chase. When you cheat, you chase. See ya.
Here's Simeon. Simeon hits a fly ball, shallow center field. Duggar coming in, but it's going to be Tomlinson who makes the sliding catch. Of the 3, he was my last choice. And that'll end the inning. Done a really nice job when he's come back to the big leagues.
You're now
Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
5-2 A's. We're going to the bottom half of the 7th inning. We have a new pitcher now for Oakland. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's going to be Ryan Buchter coming in for the 24th time. He's having a nice season. A 1.93 ERA and 18 2/3, 16 hits allowed, 18 strikeouts. How's he do it? He got a good fastball. He'll run up there low to mid 90s with a curveball and a slider. But he likes to throw that fastball. A special day here as the Giants honor the 89 Giants. Ellie Hammaker and Donnie Robinson, Dave Dravecki, Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell. There's Will Clark, Matt Williams. It was great to see the boys. And they're up there telling stories and having fun, as they always do when they get together. It doesn't happen enough. And the Pacific Stock Exchange that year, Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell finished 1 and 2 in the MVP award. Mitchell won it. Clark came in second. And that's what they did. 2 wow years.
Crawford hits a high foul down the left field line and out of play. 47 home runs. How about that? In a ballpark that wasn't that great for right-handed power hitters. Crawford takes way outside. He's 2 for 2. So one's happy.
Oh yeah, Giants are number 1. Learned that at an early age.
Out of play, 1 and 2 to Crawford.
And the poster of the Pacific Stock Exchange that we thought was great. We hung that in the clubhouse, and
oh yeah,
we got a lot of mileage out of that.
I think that ended up in our house. Crawford waves at a breaking ball. Here's Gorkis Hernandez.
Dave Dravecki and Will Clark. Ellie Hammaker in the back and Kevin Mitchell sitting down.
Gorkis 1 for 2.
You know,
and takes low.
The old saying is, no matter how good you think you are at something in that clubhouse, there's somebody in that clubhouse that's better than you. And it really is true. We were in Philadelphia at Veterans Stadium, and under the tunnel they used to have a backboard and a hoop. Go down there and shoot baskets. So one day we're down there and shooting a few hoops, just killing time, and here comes Ellie Hammaker. And he picked up the ball. We said, shoot till you miss, and he shot for about 5 minutes. He did not miss. And I always thought the left-handers had the best looking shot anyway.
Who'd have thought?
He was pure.
Yeah, the big leaguers aren't too impressed by other guys doing other things, but every once in a while, 2-1 pitch is fouled Just below us, it's 2-2. It's pretty in the big leagues. Your exploits in high school or college doesn't play at all, but in the minor leagues, guys will brag, man.
Yeah, they will.
They will let you know how good they were.
Some of those lower level bus rides. It's pretty funny, but you learn to put your Letterman's jacket away by the time you get to the big leagues.
Yeah, well, as you should.
Hey, she made a play. Woohoo! Yep. You know what? You could take as long as you want enjoying that. Oh, hugs, high fives, big smiles.
Got him. Rookies was just hoping that Ben May would not call that a strike. And here's Duggar.
Cuts a fastball.
Please, please, please.
Just a perfect pitch.
Swing and a miss by Duggar.
Let's take a look at this young lady's catch. Right in the sweet spot, kinda. Oh yeah, and then she has the victory dance. It's a good one.
She's been taking that glove for years to the ballpark, and she keeps hearing that voice say, if you bring your glove, you get a ball.
That's right.
And it ain't happening.
Well, today it happened. But I gotta say the victory dance was as good as the catch.
Yeah. Duggar takes low, 1-2. Yep. In our next contract, we will have that as part of it.
Yeah, that's right.
If it could get me over the Bay Bridge faster,
yeah,
I might buy that thing.
Or at least rent it for a weekend.
Or how about a day, just a couple hours after a day game here.
Yep, there's your old friend, the bridge.
Actually, the bridge is fine. It's getting to it. I need that to get to the other side, and then I need a helicopter for the Caldecott Tunnel. There's your happy fan. She doesn't care about traffic right
of the San Francisco Giants may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
5-2 A's as we go to the 8th. When it's time for a change, things speedy, oil change and auto service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Numbers for Sam Dyson as he comes in for the 47th time this first half. 2-2 with a 3.20 ERA.
Here's Pinder. Pinder with a swing and a foul, held on by Buster Posey. Pinder, 2 strikeouts and a pop-up. And he hooks this one into left field, a base hit. Check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, guys, time for our Ask Amy G segment. The question comes from Ron Ed, his Twitter handle @Sackpaw. Here's the question. How long does it take you to unwind after a night game before you go to bed? Ron, I got a couple of players to answer that for you. Joe Panic said his general bedtime about 1:30 in the morning. It takes about 3 hours to settle down after a game. Austin Slater said about 2 hours. Once he leaves the park, he said it's a couple of video games, a TV show, and then he reads, although I think he threw that in there to please his mama. And the last one, Derek Rodriguez said if he has started a game, he does not go to bed until about 5 a.m. That is how long it takes his adrenaline to slow down. Thanks for writing in. If you have a question, tweet it to me @AmyGGiants, #AskAmyG, and I'll ask the players for you, guys.
All right. Good stuff, Amy. Is Lowry waits on the 1-0 pitch. And he shoots it the other way, foul.
It's true about getting so keyed up you can't wind down. But one thing changes that for Derek Rodriguez. That'll, I think, happen in his life. He's not able to wind down till 5 in the morning. Well, get married and have a child. Because you're going to be getting up about 6:30. And that makes it a little more important to get to sleep earlier.
Or you're going to find them all in bed with you.
Especially after a 10-day road trip.
Oh, my goodness. 1-2. Okay, Frankie.
There's Frank. He's going to be a proud papa very soon.
One ball, 2 strikes. And a bit outside. It's 2-2. Full count.
Lowry, 2 good takes there, 2 close pitches and a 2-strike count.
You would think that Pinder would be going.
Well, you're right. With the type of pitcher that Dyson is, sinker baller, Lowry's going to put the ball in play. You're betting on him to make contact. You got good speed with Pinder on the base paths.
He does not. Get out to left. Gorkis Hernandez checks to see where the mound is, and he makes the catch.
One of your big considerations when you're a corner outfielder in this ballpark is you need to know where those mounds are. Watch him look down right at the end and then make the catch. And then check it again.
Here's Canna. Low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Matt Williams fan.
Two and 0. Dyson, you can tell by his body language, he's not pleased with the way he's throwing the ball this inning.
Well, he's really had to fight to find mechanics at times, to keep mechanics. There's been some inconsistency with his ability to control his arm slot this first half. His first 3/5. And it does frustrate you because you can't rely on it. You can't think about making a knee-high on the block pitch. You just have to aim for the middle of the strike zone and hope that your misses are good. Because you got to throw strikes.
And a strike.
At 94. Who's Bochy trying to be patient?
Three and two.
Now that's the fastball that Kurt Young wants to see from Sam Dyson. That explosive two-seam fastball that just will break bats, will get ground balls at a high velocity. That's a big-time movement on a pitch.
Now the runner goes, and Canna takes the walk.
So Buster Posey coming out. I think he's going to discuss that second strike that was swung through in that at bat with Canna, saying, hey man, your stuff's good. Let's just ride that hard sinker, get a ground ball. Big swing of the bat. Steven Piscotty getting a breaking ball, had a little hang time on it from Reyes Maranta, and he does this. And for Piscotty, that's home run number 12 on the year.
Inside, it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Rookie fan of the rookie pitcher, Andy Suarez. Well, welcome to the ballpark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where do Gamer Babes come from? They come from Gamer Babes. What's going on?
Crawford shovels to Tomlinson, and they'll end the inning. Tomlinson's going to lead things off.
Kelly Johnson as they bring you the happy hour weekdays on NBC Sports Bay Area. Also available to listen live as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com.
5-2 A's, 8th inning. Lou Trevino comes in. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Take a look at the numbers for Trevino. You're impressed with the stuff we saw from him last night. 50 strikeouts and 43 in the third, just 23 hits allowed. He's been very, very good. High velocity fastball and a hard slider and a changeup combination.
And Hansen pinch hits, and he takes outside. Threw 36 pitches last night.
Well, but this is a day they'll extend, only because they've got 4 days of rest following. But it is a lot to ask a reliever who throws that many pitches the night game and then have a day game turnaround the next day.
Sandoval on deck. Not close. And he walked him.
And if you're Bruce Bochy, I mean, that's exactly what you want. You want a leadoff hitter getting on base. And everybody knows that Trevino worked a lot last night. That means take a pitch. Take a strike, rather.
Here's Sandoval. That's Will Smith in the Giants bullpen. One ball and no strikes.
Trevino taking a hard look at Ben May, the plate umpire. Where was that? I mean, that's 5 balls in a row, and you start to look for some help. And when you get squeezed a little bit, you get ticked off. But Giants do not mind. So there's
right down the middle of the plate.
There's the take one strike, and Sandoval will take no more if he gets a good pitch to hit.
One and two. Well, you got to take one swing to get loose, don't you?
One to measure, one to rake. You could throw one to get loose on, I guess, in there.
Foul out of play.
That was down near the Panda Happy Zone.
Double play ball. 2 down. So here's Darno. Darno with a home run in the 6th inning.
Got one down and in and took on the deep part of the yard in center field. And he wins. Second home run as a Giant.
Reynolds' job, try to get down for Belt. 0-2. There's Trinan. On the ground to Chapman, and that'll end the inning. Ninth inning coming up.
The Junior Giants stretch drive. The fund is proud to offer the Junior Giants program in 90 leagues throughout the state and into Nevada and Oregon. These communities continue to thrive because of your support. 24,000 boys and girls get to play the great game of baseball because of the Junior Giants. Kids that would not have the money to be playing this great game if it were not for the Junior Giants. And we thank you all for your help. And it's still not too late to donate. You can go to jrgiants.org and continue to raise. Giants goals with $500,000. That was their goal, and they're doing well today. Thank you to your efforts.
Here's Will Smith to face Matt Olson. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Take a look at the numbers for Will Smith, who's had quite an eventful first half. I mean, he's come off the disabled list after 14 months on Tommy John. And he is elevated to where now he has assumed the closer responsibilities. Prior to this year, I mean, he'd only had one lifetime save. Now he's got 3.
Hansen is at second, Sandoval's at third. Foul. Stays at 1 and 2. Out of play. And another 1-2 pitch. Here it is from Smith to Olson, and it's to the back foot, 2-2. Tapped. Foul. Chapman on deck, and then Jonathan Lucroy. Playable for Sandoval, and he puts it away. And that'll bring up Chapman. Chapman 1 for 3.
Hey, I'm voting that guy best dressed.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Brought his glove. Gamer. Not a bit.
He wears it right. There's a strike to Chapman.
You know, we see a lot of Wilsons, a lot of Rawlings, a lot of Mizuno, and you're starting to see more and more Marucci gloves. And what's unique about Marucci, I mean, you can buy the glove, you could buy it broken in. How about that? Yep, she's brought her glove. Made a play today, by the way. In my mind, that's the play of the day. The one she made.
2-1.
Although I don't know if I'd trust a glove that was broken in by somebody else. That's a personal thing about a glove. I mean, it's your hand.
3-1.
Yeah, everybody's got a little different way as to how they want to catch the ball. Some guys, they'll put their fingers right straight in the way that it was designed. Other guys, they'll put one finger out. Some guys 2 fingers out. Sometimes they'll jam a couple fingers in one small and 1 finger on the glove.
3-2.
And everybody's got a little different sweet spot when they break their glove in. That's a 4-finger glove. You used to put your middle finger and your ring finger in the ring finger of that glove. Felt good. I had one.
Lifts this one out into left center field, and it's going to fall. Marquis Hernandez is going to air it out, but for Chapman, he's got a double.
2-hit day for Chapman.
And that'll bring Jonathan Lucroy to the plate. Lucroy watches the first one bounce in. He's make that 0 for 2. He had a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. He knocked in the 4th run.
Will Smith, Jonathan Lucroy, teammates with the Milwaukee Brewers. Chris Davis has come out on the on-deck circle.
Me too.
Former Brewer.
Popped up down the right field line, and that's going to be out of play.
Nice play, out of bed.
That is a nice play. 1-1 to Jonathan Lucroy. At second base is Chapman. Two balls and one strike. Three and one to Jonathan Lucroy. Eighteen pitches now for Will Smith. Chapped up to middle and a base hit. And Chapman's going to score. It's 6-2. Chris Davis. Davis takes a healthy rip and it's out of play.
There's a certain amount of redundancy to that statement. Davis takes a healthy rip.
He does.
He unhinges. Had block heading down to the pin. They are not going to let Will Smith have a 30-pitch inning.
Oh, and 2. Get that breaking ball to the back leg. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And another soft toss.
Those throwovers are being called by the bench for one reason: to let Ty Block get loose.
Gorky Hernandez now comes in, and it falls in front of him. Well, Gorky's had a pretty good read on that one, but I guess not. So here's Simeon.
With a hitter like Davis, I mean, expect a little more sometimes. So in essence, he winds up hitting a changeup to Gorkis Hernandez because it didn't get out there like Gorkis thought it was initially off the bat.
Mr. Posey digs that one out as he was crossed up. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
Let's take a look.
Look out.
Just a concentration lapse, and that's the last thing Buster Posey wants to do is get hurt looking for a breaking ball and getting a fastball. And that's how you could do it, especially when you got a guy out there throwing mid-90s.
Gorkis Hernandez will play this one on a hop. So that's 4 hits in a row. And Pinder's the hitter.
Second time of the game that the A's have been able to put 4 hits together in a row.
Yeah, the other time, the only 4 hits that Andrew Suarez allowed were 4 singles in a row after a walk. So Pinder fouls this one out of play. Oh, and 2.
A little anger on that fastball from Will Smith.
Got him.
And a 3-pitch see ya.
Here's Lowry. Lowry 0 for 3 with a walk. Foul back. So a new baseball for Will Smith. Lucroy, Davis, and Simeon are your base runners. Oh, and 2.
Right at the top of the strike zone, up and in. You get that one, I mean, you got to go right back to it, don't you? Maybe elevate a little bit more. As if you're Lowry, I mean, you've got to cover it now.
Got him.
Or you could back foot slider the guy.
Giants take 4 to tie. 6-2 A's. 6:30 on NBC Bay Area KNTV and the Giants television network. And then we'll be back on NBC Sports Bay Area next Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m. with pregame live starting at noon. .62 A's and Trident's coming in.
Closer for the A's, who has had an all-star first half, 24 saves on the year. High velocity sink. We saw it last night where he was hitting 99 with big time heavy sink. He's also got a slider and a changeup he'll throw you. League hitting 177. Look what right-handers do against him. 110.
Belt is 0 for 9 in the series. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Derek Rodriguez starting to play a little catch. Giants pin. Rodriguez was in the bullpen this weekend, and it's likely that he's going to go down there and throw a full bullpen right now. And that was the plan. If they were going to use him, then don't throw. But if it gets late in the game, that's when we'll throw your side. Maintenance.
Two and one to Belt.
And if the Giants come back and tie this up, I mean, he would be the pitcher. He'd be in the game. But if they don't, he's still going to get a side pin.
Bottom line is he was going to throw today one way or the other.
He was going to throw. Whether be in the game or be on the side.
And Belt is out swinging.
It's breaking ball from Trident. Take a look at the breaking ball. High velocity, 89. And Belt 0 for 10 now in the series.
McCutchen takes a strike. And the next pitch is down low. McCutchen with a swing. Ain't gonna miss. 1 and 2.
Big time movement at 97. Almost looks like a left-handed cutter coming into McCutchen. You don't see that type of velocity moving into a right-handed hitter from a right-handed pitcher very often.
Two and 2.
Just missed.
Three and 2. Buster Posey on deck. And the walk.
Nice at bat. It all started with a walk.
Buster's flied out, struck out, and bounced out. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Same spot, 0-2.
Well, this time it comes back with different movement. He cuts one to the outside corner, then he brings backdoor sinker at 97 to the same spot. It's a pretty nasty two-pitch combination.
And Buster stays alive as he rolls it foul. Got him.
So a 93-mile-an-hour cutter. Second strikeout of the inning.
So here's Crawford. Crawford 2 for 3 in the afternoon. McCutcheon's going to go, and Crawford fouls it out of play. And a crowd of 42,098.
Oh yeah. 42,098.
42,098.
Sellout. That's a good crowd.
Crawford taps it foul, 0-2.
Brandon Crawford off after the game today. Going to hop on a plane, head east to our nation's capital, where he will represent the National League at shortstop on Tuesday as an All-Star.
That's right. You will see him play on Tuesday night. And that's the ball game. So the final game of this series, it goes to the Oakland A's. They end up taking the last two games in this series, and the Giants on the homestand, they go 5-5. A win today, 6-4, would have been a really good homestand, but the level of competition pretty tough, including the team that they just lost to today.
Well, the A's, offensively put together 4 hits in a row twice in this ballgame. It proved to be the difference. And once this back into this A's bullpen got a hold of the lead, they did not give it back.
And that's kind of the way it has gone for the A's and how they've won their games. Back of the bullpen has been very tough. Final score here at AT Park in front of over 42,000. It's the A's 6 and the Giants 2. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for Giants Postgame Live. It's presented by Toyota, and it starts right now.
Postgame wrap on KWR 680 Sports Leader on your drive.